We are going to be taking a look at the SV06 Plus Ace, which is the, well, the clipperized brother of the SV06, which, the SV06 Plus, which is the bigger variant of the SV06. We've looked at the SV06, the SV06 Plus, and the SV06 Ace. Now it's time we look at the Plus Ace. Yeah, sorry for the false start there. Apparently, this computer cannot handle 60 frames a second. It got very upset when I tried to do that. So, obviously, I have some settings to mess with. And yeah, the encoders. It was 50% skipped due to encoding lag. So, gotta love that. I have no idea if we're using CPU or GPU, but it's kind of irrelevant right now. I can just stream to a dead destination another time, and we can look at it, because we are live, and that means we have work to do. I'm at like 25% of my CPU and 40% of my GPU. Anyways, we'll go through it later. I can stream to a dead destination. Not gonna bother with it right now. And yes, Andrew is on the editing PC. We're trying to see if he can be editing here while I'm streaming, and I think it's possible. We're gonna find out. Anyways, let's get this cut open with our cardboard cutting knife, even though we're cutting tape with it. Bearded Printer with the 5 memberships. Thank you very much. James Kerbal got one, Jimmy got one, Jose got one, it's Mike, and Seek. I don't know those names, or at least a couple of them. All right, let's get this opened up here. Should be more of the same that we saw with the SV06 Ace, but just bigger. So, yes, thank you, Bearded Printer. Greatly appreciated. We will theoretically be releasing some behind-the-scenes footage. This box is bigger than my table. Behind-the-scenes footage from Construct 3D in the next couple of days. Yes, more foam for the custom cat tree build. Let's go. We have the user manual here. Let's just make sure we got it all correct. We're going to have all the bits and bobs to put it together that I'm probably not going to read through. We've got the rail system, things I'm probably not going to read because I'm hoping should be kind of obvious to put it all together. Oh, it's got back stability rail things. Coolio, coolio. All right. Cool. It's got Obico built into it too. Features that we're not going to use because we don't network our 3D printers here. Simon Snow gifted 5 memberships. Thank you. Josh got one. Backwards Southern Life got one. Jan got one. Neo and Keel? Might get that wrong. All got one. Thank you very much for your input. If it has hardware, is it considered Ace hardware? I don't know. I think this machine's actually pretty cheap. We've got an affiliate link if someone wants to check to see where we're at on this for price, but I believe it's quite affordable. Sovol's kind of known for doing relatively affordable printers, and this is no different. We have some sheet metal parts sitting here. These are going to be for the bracing that's on. It's nice to see the bracing. Our power supply with our triple pin, looks like an XT60 style connector. Have our filament spool, which of course goes on the top, which I inherently detest. Okay, it's 300 bucks. Damn, that's pretty cheap actually. 300 bucks? That's it? Yeah, I get it. It's a bed slinger in 2025. But it's 300 bucks. Like, if you need the dimensions, this might fit the bill for you. Comes with filament. We don't need that crap where we're going. Not that crappy filament. Don't use filament the manufacturer gives you. It's garbage for the most part. We have our tool kit with our parts that we need, a plug, and other stuff. Yeet that box out of here. Ooh. There it goes. Finally hit the ground. What do we have here? It's probably the screen, I'm going to guess. Yep, we got the screen. Throws out the Pruschmidt. Last Prush printer. Okay, fine. Prushament you can use. But we do prefer to use filament from our sponsor, Printed Solid with Jesse's PLA, and they do enable us to give away filament to you all. So do use that pinned comment, enter to win some Jesse filament. Yeah, you know, if you want that kind of thing. Ack! Why now? Why would you? Okay, well, they have magnets holding the cover on, but that's like the only way to grab it out of here. I guess I'll use the extruder thing. We've got a completely different hot end. Once again, I wish manufacturers would look at standardizing stuff. It would make life a little bit easier. We do have a completely unique hot end. It does have a load cell on it. Okay. That's something. More foam. Goodbye. Please remove the foam at the bottom of the hot end. This is placed in there because somebody didn't do that. Someone didn't remove the foam at the bottom of the hot end. And there's no foam at the bottom of my hot end. Not that I see, at least. Oh, hot bed. Like I read. Hot bed. So there's foam underneath the hot bed. I would have said heat bed, not hot bed. My brain auto-corrected that to hot end, not hot bed. How many of you like a cool bed versus a hot bed? Now I'm curious. Are you the type of person that likes to get into a bed that's nice and warm? Or do you like to get into a bed that's nice and cold? It's there for people like Grant. Wow. Says a lot coming from my identical twin. Okay. Similar, we're using, we're not using V-wheels, but we're using metal cupped wheels on the X-axis. The Z-axis still uses, looks like 10mm steel rods and LM10UU bearings. Teeny tiny little motors for the Z. You guys are cold. I don't know. Part of me, like, I recently got a affordable heated mattress pad. Man, that's kind of nice. It's kind of nice. I'm not gonna lie. Like, have it be warm. It's kind of nice. All right, we're taking some foam out of here. Out. Get that out of here. All right, I'm just gotta pull it out. It's nice for your aches. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, apparently, if your video drops out, just reset the stream, I guess. Reboot the stream, something like that. We've got the supporting rods. You gotta be careful with these because I'm assuming you can change their length. And if you can definitely get the machine a little off kilter. My father, who's in here, says mine is on high 365 days a year. Yes, some of us are masochists, I guess. You know, whatever. And oh yeah, there is some foam underneath this bed. Come on. It does not want to remove itself from the box. Thank you. Jeez. Okay. It's nice to have umbilicals, but it's not when, like, you know, it goes everywhere and makes a problem. All right, I guess I just have to slide this box off the table, but I don't really have a space for it. Give me a second to figure out where I can put this box so that it does not get further in my way. God, I need to clean this so bad. It is... Whatever, I'm not using that fan anyways. Okay. Got our printer here. Foam feet. extruder. Sovol, for reference, it would be great if we had a lot of this stuff separate, make life a lot easier. Andrew Rukers, our editor, says, new video idea, make a heated bed out of 3D printer beds. That would be very uncomfortable. Gilbert Nar said, had to go through another ad to get back. That's weird. These streams are ad-free. So, if you're getting an ad, blame YouTube. Literally, we have ads turned off. So, Daniel D says, can't stop looking at the Core 1. Yeah, it's a nice machine. We are doing some testing of a model and refining profiles on the Core 1 currently. So, I have been quite enjoying it. It runs very well. It is so quiet compared to other Core XY machines that we have in the shop. So props to Prusa for figuring that out. They really did get that right. And yes, Professor Posner, Dr. Posner, if you will, because he is a doctor. Well, he has a doctorate, I should say. But yeah, Dr. Posner. That's my dad. I only have a master's degree. My father got the doctorate. All right, we have our vertical over there. I'm gonna go ahead and get the hardware set out here. Yeah, it's definitely YouTube. I know it's YouTube, but that's not gonna stop people from saying stuff. All right, let's see what they include with it. We've got bag of bolts, bag of grease, which I'm not, no, that goes right back in. We've got the generic cutters, which you can legitimately never have too many of. We've got a bunch of tiny zip ties, which I'm sure we will use not anywhere near enough of, although that probably wasn't grease. That was likely thermal compound, because I have a tube of metal grease, which is going back in there as well. We've got a spare nozzle and a spare nozzle wiper, so that's nice to see. Comes with a 0.4 millimeter spare nozzle, the USB drive that you can never trust, tweezers, let's see, we've got some poking tools. We've got a ramrod for clearing out filament stuck in the hot end, and then you have an acupuncture needle, which you should never use on a machine with a brass hot end. Iconic Fab said, why is your Voron on the background covered with a mat, one of the cat? I assume for high temp filament printing. No. Amber made this and she showed it off live and we put it there and we never took it down. The Voron still needs a bunch of work. That's going to be some upcoming streams where we work on the Voron a little bit more. So, yeah. It is the cat, though. Isn't she adorable? She's lovely. We love her. Dusty Ham says, good news. I have a fresh hot cuppa. Cuppa what? Cuppa what? All right. Let's see what we got here. Is this easy enough to do without looking at the instructions? We're going to find out. Can certainly see the verticals. That's going to be these pieces right here. These are going to be my verticals. I'm going to end up, the bed's going to end up getting dirty anyways, so forget it. We're just going to, we're going to accept the fact that it's going to get dirty and move on with our lives. Okay, that's going to be for our verticals. So I say we get that done first. Like, write me out. Okay. It's a big printer. Like, certainly as far as bed slingers go, this one is that price point's a tough one to beat. Like right now, you've got a lot of machines in that price category. Of course, the brand new Centauri Carbon. You've got the AD5M. AD5X is close enough to that price point. Of course, I'm sure Bamboo has stuff in that price point as well. Your machine all of a sudden costs a bunch more money, so be careful. And if for some reason you do want to buy one, there is affiliate links in that description if you do want to support what we do here. And if you don't, that's totally fine too. I'm just glad that you're here. Linus asks if we have a list of referral codes someplace. That would be so nice if I did. It's a great thing we should work on. The one for Prusa should be in the description of every video. So, check there. If it's not, I don't know, email me and I can get you one. Gilbert says, former sailor, never too early for a beer. And that's fair. If you start drinking at 11:59 and it ticks over to midnight, is that early? Or is that late? Ruker says he's got the Amazon affiliate list. Nah, we should just have a page on the website where people can go, like, to support us with affiliate links. That shouldn't be too difficult to do, I don't think. Thylo650 said, why no Prusa or bamboo? What? What do you mean? Yeah, and Linux, just check the description of the video. There should be one for Prusa in there. So, should be good to go. Getting these bolts turned in here. Once we have the verticals on, a lot of the other pieces will start to fall into place. Linux, what are you looking at getting? Lengths? 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 I don't know. I don't see one up. Really? All right, well, now I'm curious. Let's see. Shop Prusa with our affiliate code. It's literally in the description. It's there. LionX. Okay, LionX. Yeah, it's there. I knew. I'm like, I know it's there. Prusa's good to us, so we like to be good to them. Rick Standen says, Grant, if you start having a poo at 11:59, then it changes to the next day, is it the same crap, different day? I think so. That's really your thought experiment of the day. Is that same crap, different day? It's your thought experiment. Because this is how we're getting you to think about life, is if you poop overnight into the next morning, is that, is that same crap, different day? Never really know. We ask the difficult questions here on the channel, let me tell you. And yes, for those wondering, Sovol did provide us this machine in exchange for doing the stream. No money has exchanged hands otherwise. So, yeah. As long as I have this the right way. I assume I do. It's how all their other machines have gone. LionX says, going to dive into the Core 1. Don't want to replace it. When I get it, so I might get something for the future. It's totally fair. I mean, there's a lot of opportunities out there for machines. The Core 1 is certainly on the upper end of that range. They're like, I think the kit's like $900 or something. It's not cheap, right? But the machine is damn good. I really do like the Core 1, and Prusa, of course, commits to a very, very, very long cycle. But, if you're not really in the market to spend that much money for a machine, which is totally understandable, machines like this exist, right? $300. I mean, that's... Even if it's not a perfect machine, $300 is a lot of printer for the money. Like, that's a lot of printer for the money. I would assume that it's hard-pressed to get that kind of work these days. Iconic Fab with the €5.99 saying, happy bed-flinging support fund from some random country. Thanks, boss. Appreciate it. So the fan is on the front, so you do not have access to the nozzle, unfortunately. You will not be able to see the nozzle when it's printing. Bit of a bummer there. But, look. I think we have to kind of understand that when you're talking about certain price points for printers, you are making some concessions when you're spending less money on the machine. And you're doing that specifically so that you don't have to spend more money. And that's okay, right? You know, work within your means. Don't buy an expensive printer because, oh, a content creator tells you so. I don't care, right? Buy whatever makes you happy. And this is the foam from under the hotbed they were talking about. There is some foam under the hotbed they were referencing for me to take off because they don't trust me because they think I'm an idiot, which is, that's fair. That's fair. Do you have a BL Touch for the Sovol? No, this one uses a, there's more foam under here. This one uses a load cell, which is good. I think that's becoming more common with modern 3D printers, that we are seeing load cells rather than BL Touches and things like that, which is much my preference. It is much, much, much my preference to see that. I'm not a huge fan of the BL Touches. They were good for their day, but now that we have affordable load cell based leveling, I really don't see a huge reason to not use it. And companies that don't use it, in my opinion, are often doing it for a pure price point. And when you look at this machine, it's $300. Okay. This machine, what, like 300 by 300 by 350? Something like that, right? Yeah, I think that's what it is. That's a lot of machine for 300 bucks. I don't think there's a lot of other brands out there that are offering value like that. Now, is this what you might want? I don't know. But always print within your means, right? Don't overextend yourself for a printer. You can always get a second printer later on. Right? You can always get another printer. All the time. You have all the time in the world. All right, so power supply is on that side. I want to see where these go. Oh, the Z-axis is literally in the way. That's funny. Dang. The Z-axis is in the way, and we're not able to put in the pieces that we need. That is very funny. Russ with the $10. Thank you very much. Amber's here. Amber was supposed to work, but Amber got attacked by a cat in the middle of the night. One of the cats decided that it was going to freak out. Amber went to touch it, and then the cat decided, I don't like you right now. Accidentally, of course. And, yeah, Amber's hands are Swiss cheese at the moment. Well, okay, they're not like Swiss cheese, but they're worse for wear. We're very sorry, Amber B. And yes, she didn't mean it. It was not Victoria, but she didn't mean it. Let me just make sure I'm using the right screws for that thing. Step 4, it says. I'm doing all the steps wrong, but it really goes on the inside. Interesting, I would have put it on the outside. Good thing. Well, good thing I looked at the instructions. Because I would have put it out here. But no. These pieces go on the inside. And I did have the right bolts, so we're good. Andrew Rogers with the $10 says, for the plus size Poverty Prussia Fund. Yeah, I mean, look. You kind of, you call it what it is. It's Poverty Prussia. And honestly, at 300 bucks, this is, if it is anywhere as good as the other SV06 is, it's gonna be a great printer for the money. Just do the instructions backwards and see. That way you can see ahead. Well, as Nero always said, the fastest printer is more printers. And that's true. He's absolutely right. The fastest printer is always more printers, right? Having more hot ends for throughput is better. These bolts are really long. I don't think they need to be this long, but they are. Looks like the Z is stolen from Prusa. Well, so this was back when, so this very much uses a similar design to the Mark III. It was open source, and Sovol does support open source, right? The SV08, they are donating back to the Voron project. You know, they don't donate money back to the Voron project. I don't have too many qualms with Sovol with the way that they handle their business. I think that, you know, as far as overseas companies go, they're pretty up there in terms of ones that I would trust. You know, at least when it comes to machines. Iconic Fab said, despite the popular narrative burning Bamboo, I'm happy about my A1 Mini, hopefully not sending files over the wall. It is. Not using that too much as I print ABS ASA mostly, but not bad for the McDonald's price. Even bed slingers are getting better these days, and it's totally true. Totally true. Let me get everything tightened up here. Remember, kids, you just go click, click, and that's how you know it's torqued down. Obviously. Obviously. And hey, if you're just joining us, like the stream. All those things help support the channel. Greatly appreciated. Thank you for being here. I like that you're here. So these are punch cut, so I'm just trying to see which side is the sharp side. So I can put the sharp side both the same way both times. Darkening Shadow says, I'm curious to see how this compares to a clipperized SV06 Plus. I am too. I never did clipperize my Plus, personally, but considering this runs Clipper, to my understanding, it should run very similar, but it's got the screen built in and all that stuff, so, and a camera are a thing for this printer. What the heck? Oh. Thylo said, what do I think about Bamboo Lab printers in the cloud? I've done enough videos on that you should be able to discern that for yourself. I heard a beep, and I think that beep came from the EcoFlow. So I'm going to check it real quick, see what's going on and why it is angry at me. Ah, yep, that was it kicking on for solar. That was it kicking on the solar generation side of it. It is kind of overcast today, so we're not getting a lot of power generation. I've asked this question before, but I'm going to ask it again. Would you guys, no matter what building that we build, it will be off-grid, at least if I have things my way. So we're going to be doing an entire kind of series on all that. I just don't know if you guys would want to see all that on this channel, or if you think a second channel is better. I'm kind of open to whatever. I would like to just see it on one channel because it's less work that I have to do, but yeah. I like the idea of being self-sufficient for power. Not having to rely on anybody. Okay, we got that set up. These are some pretty stout pieces. Now what bolts are we using to put all that together? 6 goes up top, and 5 goes down below. Okay. Simple, simple. These are nice. It is aluminum. So we have some aluminum pieces here, or aluminum if you're a heathen. We don't need all. Why are there 4 of these? We don't need them all. Yeah, we don't need them all here. Yeah, not having to rely on the monopoly. Exactly. My assumption is the bed cable goes on the outside. That's where I would put it. Like a couple of trailer park girls. And I mentioned it last stream, but I'll mention it this stream as well. We are actively looking for a sponsorship coordinator for the YouTube channel. So if you have experience working with companies for sponsorships, or you have a sales background, we'd very much like to talk to you. It will be a base pay plus a commission role. Yeah, we are actively looking for someone to assist on that with the company. So if that's your kind of thing, and you want to get involved, please reach out. Oh, interesting. Their colors are different. I have one of them is upside down. I'm going to have the black pointing straight up. So I'll just flip this over. It's interesting because I actually think that with all these bits and bobs, the actual rods themselves are the weakest link. But this is just a stiffener to keep the Z-axis from wobbling around. So you're not really adding a lot of structural strength. What you're doing is you're keeping the part itself from tweaking and warping. It also means you can much more easily pick it up from the top because it's supported in more places now. I think my electric screwdriver is out here. I could be using my electric screwdriver for this. Yeah, is it out here? I don't see it immediately, so we're not going to use it. 3D Experiment says, bed slinger, so retro. Yeah, but it's a $300 bed slinger. And it's a 300 by 300 by 350, I believe. And that's a pretty big printer for the money. And that's, you know, look, we could be just showing off only like the crazy expensive stuff. Like, I can go get a $40,000 printer and put it on stream, but like, I think it's important for us to also talk about the more affordable stuff, right? That's like reasonably attainable by the average person. As this 3D Experiment says, it's cosplay capable. And yeah, like if someone comes to us and wants cosplay parts, this would be a printer that I could potentially recommend to them. That's a big deal to me. How many people we got here hanging out? I'm curious. Let's see. 82. Not bad. Only 34 likes, though. Those are rookie numbers. We gotta pump those numbers up. Where's power supply? Right here. Grant, it was right in front of your damn face. Okay. These are the power supply bolts. At least that's what they look like. Most likely, you're screwing through. Yeah. I'm going to pick up the printer and turn it around. David Sanchez says, print a cat. I don't have anything sliced for this printer. If you are new here, I don't know if you are, but if you are, we like to just kind of test machines as they come with the pre-sliced G-code that manufacturers provide. It's a bit of an odd decision because often manufacturers kind of suck at that. Oh, okay, there we go. But I do think it's important for consumers because some people are going to expect to get a machine and then it just work. So. Keep 3D Printing says, ooh, how's the setup so far? I was waiting for this printer to release, but couldn't. Had to buy something else. So far, you know, it's a very standard bed slinger setup procedure, so it's not particularly a challenge, but it's also nothing to really write home about. There's, I like the extra stability in the back. I'm not certain if the original Plus had that or not. But it is nice to see. It's a pretty frame. It's bed slinger, obviously, but yeah. Just make sure this bed can go all the way forward. It can. I don't really like that bend radius there around that, but I wouldn't. Yeah, that's something to keep an eye on. Keep an eye on the cables for the bed. I'm just kind of worried about that back rail being a particular issue. So, yeah. Have our power supply, and then we can put the hot end on. Okay, the OG didn't. Well, that's a nice quality of life feature, and they did it without adding. There's no extra width to the printer, and so like I can heavily appreciate that. There's not a lot of extra BS that you would need to do as the consumer compared to the OG. All right, we're gonna put the hot end on here. 3 little screws. I'm going to do this somewhat blind because I just don't want to flip the printer around again, to be honest with you. Printers in boxes are easier for me to move than printers out of boxes. It says, looks like 9mm belts for the Y-axis. Yeah, I think it is. It does appear to be a 9mm belt for the Y-axis, so yes, I would agree. Metal wheels are nice too, less wear than the alternatives, and better movement system than the original. The original was, what, the LM8UUs, right? Because it was just a clone of the Mark III. Could I check whether the bed cable could catch on the bottom strut mount? We just did. It doesn't appear that it can. So they've got a thing that kicks it up. I think that will help. But certainly it looks like Sovol's kind of learned from the successes and failures on the SV06 line. So both the... Oh, dang. Well, I gotta move it now. I dropped a bolt. Both the Plus and the non-Plus, I think, are upgrades from the previous generation. I mean, just the... dang it. Just the bed leveling alone, I think, is better. Let's get that bolt in. And yes, as Keep 3D Printing says, gotta love manufacturers that can still learn from their mistakes. Dude, same. Absolutely same. Oh, that one did not go in at all. Interesting. I think I cross-threaded a bolt. Ah! I think that's cross-threading, but there's not much I can do about it because that's the way the threads want to go. Three bolts on the back. Not always the best. Oh. What? Something's not right here. Something is not right. At least I don't think. I think we're missing something. I need to back out this top bolt. I don't think that fits. I see what Sovol's done, and I don't think it fits. So there's a little piece of metal that's supposed to like click in to a cutout, but from what I can tell, it doesn't fit. Everything needs to slide over some, and it's not. So am I able to zoom in? Yeah. Yeah. Let me see what you guys see, because I'm paying attention to the chat more. So let me see. Oh yeah, you can see it. So right there is a little metal bracket, and it looks like it's supposed to go into a specific area. I'm just not certain it's going to fit. So we're going to pull all the screws back out. We're going to find out. So it's got, yeah, there are holes, but I don't know if the screws line up now. Oh yeah, they do. Okay. Okay. Yeah, no, it lines up. All right. Huh. It didn't feel like it was lining up. That's really, really interesting. All right. So yeah, they've got little locator pins. Now that they're in place, I just have to tighten the 3 bolts, so we should be good to go. Those locator pins are actually kind of a nice touch. It ensures that this doesn't wiggle, even when the bolts aren't tight. So I was initially going to rag on them because I didn't think it was going to fit. But it totally fits, and honestly, that's good thinking. In my book, at least. Okay. Got that. We can slide on the camera module that we are not going to use. And we can plug it in like it's Glade. Okay. This I've never liked. The X-axis cable's all limp and floppy-like. Not my favorite thing in the world. Yes, I'm aware there are pills for that. But I don't know. It's like, we can do better. We can do better. We have the technology. I'm going to pull the tape off the back for the filament sensor. Figure out. Yeah, you probably want it that way. You definitely want it. Well, I guess you could go. Nope, they have it done this way for a reason. They want it that way. Okay. How's everyone's day going? I don't stream often on Thursdays. It's a quiet day. We've got a lot of printing to do, hilariously, and I probably should be working on that. But I'm waiting for a big order of filament to come in. We just finished up a 10-kilo project for a client. 10 kilograms of 3D printing. I'm going to ask the client if I can do a video about it, because it'd be a really cool business video. It was 10 kilos. The money was very, very good. I was very, very happy with what we got paid and everything like that. But I have a feeling that like, that's not too much. That's the perfect amount, right? Like, if someone's willing to pay X, why charge them X minus 30? You know, I'm not trying to be the cheapest game in town. We have quality for a reason. All Prushiment, by the way. I was very happy to do that too. All right. I think we're done. I think we've got that totally put together. I'm going to have the printer facing me, because it is easiest when it is facing me. Yeah, I'm still scream to the heavens of quality, right? Got that. Goes there. Oh, and the thing I never checked is the voltage set correctly. Ooh, it's on the right side. I'm gonna... Ah! Ah, it wasn't. There we go. Voltage is now set correctly. Ooh, that's a loud power supply. Grant, are you still primarily using Mark IIIs in your farm? Yes. Yeah. It actually sucks that we've gotten such nicer camera gear in the last couple of years, because, like, the farm printers that sit behind me, we can't really run them when we're printing, or when we're filming, because you'll see what we're printing. Get a sip of water if you haven't. All right. Do I have something to wipe the bed down with? Oh yeah, I do. This isn't alcohol or anything like that, but it will degrease the bed. And that is rightfully important, but it is still new and fresh. There's something over there that it keeps hitting. Yeah, whatever. It'll figure itself out. Gonna hit start. English. You know what? Let me bring the webcam over for y'all. See what you all can see. There we go. So now you can see what I see. Never race the bottom. Everyone loses, customers and vendors. I agree. I agree. Wow, you're just gonna... No. Okay, we'll start the self-check. It's gonna home all the axes. Did you ever ask Joseph if he had any more of the halibut to stick on that core one? They bought all of them when they were in Japan. They bought all of the... It's mackerel, actually. But they bought all the mackerel that they could. While that's doing its thing, I forgot to bring out some Jessie. So I'm going to go get some Jessie. And I will be right back. What kind of Jessie do we have available? Do 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 do. What kind of Jessie do we want to print in today? That's PETG, and we don't want to use that for a test print. Do do do. I have too many options. Need an adult. That's a color we don't use very much, but it's a cool one. That's some blood red light glitter. A nice color. One of my more favorite colors from Printed Solid. This is PLA. This, of course, is my main dog, Jesse. Oh, it's got a little light on the filament sensor. That's actually quite nice. That is really nice to see. So there's a light on the filament sensor, which would have been really nice if that guy with the AD5M who brought it in for service had something like that. And yes, I'm wearing pants. You're welcome. Oh, she's a noisy girl. That's a noisy printer. Oh, there was a Monty Python reference. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm very sorry. You're right. It is a Monty Python reference, and I completely missed it. That's 100% on me. Keep 3 Praise says always one of the first mods on a Sovol is new fans. I don't think you should have to do that on a brand new printer. I really don't. I'm assuming we're doing some sort of input shaping right now, but we're just kind of waiting. Just making sure. Okay. All is well. Nozzle and heat bed, rising temperature. So we're waiting for that. I will get this closer since I think that I can. And I think I can reduce y'all's glare. Yeah, I can reduce your glare. I think I have this cable twisted once around, but it's probably all right. I'm assuming this is the heat bed warming up. Yeah, the heat bed's warm. Okay. So I'm like, man, it's taking a while. Is it like properly exposing for all this? I don't know. Looks kind of iffy. Famous last words. It'll probably be all right. Yeah, story of my life, though. Story of my life. Absolutely story of my life. Interested on view on this. My nephew has an older Ender 3. Tempted to treat them to an upgrade. They like, oh, there's the input shaper. They like cosplay, so bigger build size, I think, would be good for them. It is a bit blown out, isn't it? It's an Elgato face cam. Like, it should be able to determine that crap on its own. It's likely, yeah, okay. So it was seeing the black border. That's why it was blown out. There, it's way better now. Jimmy said, I don't know how I was gifted a membership 45 minutes before I joined the stream, but thank you, mystery person. I think that was Bearded Printer. Could be wrong. Luke, so I won't have, like, full thoughts on this for a few months. Because, like, otherwise, like, you know, yeah. It's not a review, right? We're just kind of It was second person? Oh, okay. Thank you. This is not a review, so we're just kind of assessing, right? We're looking at it, we're unboxing it, we're testing it. For $300, I think it will be a difficult machine. Are you trying to print right? Okay, you're not trying to print. Because I put the filament through the sensor, not thinking that it might try to print. Whoops. I just let go of that. Dang it. I let go of the tail of the filament. Oopsie. Yeah, it's not trying to feed. As dumb as it is, that the light on the filament sensor is actually quite nice. Most YouTube reviews aren't. Grant tells it like it is. Yes. Yeah, I do. Anyone that reviews a machine before the 3-month period of them owning it and using it, don't trust what they have to say. Just straight up don't trust what they have to say. Reviewing machines is a one-trick pony anyways. I don't think it's a long-term sustainable process for a YouTube channel. Lost in Texas, I don't call my reviews reviews. People call them reviews. I don't even. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I've got a project with 57 kilos that the Core 1 is going to do 100% on its own. And once that project is over, we will be able to give you a definitive, real review on the Core 1. Because it has had some issues. I don't know how many of them are the machine's fault versus my fault. There are some mods that I want to do. I want to do a flapper on the back of it that closes when the chamber fans aren't on, but then it will open when they're on. So, yeah. Because I do find that it is a little bit tough sometimes. So, I would guess that it's probably going to take us a month or two to get through those 57 kilos. EHMC130 asks, after I'm done with the 57 kilogram project, will I be ordering more Core 1s? Yeah, I don't know. The Core 1 is such a nice machine. I do really like it so far, but I don't know what long-term use case is for the machine. Now, it's a Prusa, so I have to assume that it will be good, but I can't. Right? Sing a little bit on it, the actual company settings that Prusa has are wrong, so I'm working on resolving that. That's actually what the print inside the machine is. It's a custom test piece that we made for Pressure Advance. Ryan Gill said T300 versus this. I couldn't tell you. I only have this. I had a T500. I gave it to one of the staff. And I actually think this one's going to end up going to my brother. Because he has the regular SV06 Ace, or SV06 Plus. And this would be a nice upgrade for him to go to the Ace. And I think the smaller Ace is going to go to editor Andrew. I think. At least last I checked, that was the plan. That's one of the nice things about working for the company and being local. When we get into machines for videos that I just don't need, they go to the team to mess with. I do like the lack of a probe. I much prefer nozzle probing. It's real. Dark Gallery said, never saw the Mark 4S turning into a Core 1. Spruce definitely surprised me with that. Me too. I would say that if this thing had a 3x3 of the XL tiles, I'd be much happier. I would have liked to see a bigger build volume, but I believe that the Mark 4S is probably the last bed slinger that we will see out of Prusa Research for a while. and they're going to go now to the core series. So to maintain that upgrade path, having something is a big deal. Will we see like a Core 1 XL that uses those plates? I don't know, but it'd be nice. Yeah, I like what Prusa has done for their, you know, their reusability of their machines over time. What about the Mini? The Mini kind of feels like the redheaded stepchild of Prusa, but I really know that's the SL1. Yeah, the Mini got input shaper, which is pretty insane to buy a printer without input shaper, and then a firmware update gives you input shaper. I think that's awesome. But yeah, the Mini hasn't seen a lot of changes. And honestly, I don't know if it's needed. Right? The Mini is... The idea with the Mini is it gets you into Prusa for a much lower price. You know, you can get a Mini for cheap. Christian Bureau says the Mini needs a new extruder. Yeah. Quite frankly, the Mini, I don't like the brass connections that they use for the Bowden tube. I think that if you go over to the push-to-connects, it is much, much better. Actually, I don't know why anyone would want a Mini. It's a Bowden machine, hard pass. I do like my Minis. We have 4 of them, and I like them. They run well. The Mini is often my choice of machine to take to shows because it has a handle. I just pick up the handle and I go, right? Lost in Tech said, I totally called a Mini V2, but I guess the A1 Mini can't be competed with on price at all. Yeah, that's kind of the thing, right? Bamboo has brought the price point of that 180 cube machine down so far. And if you don't think that the A1 Mini was not just a shot over the bow at Prusa, then you're, honestly, as far as I'm concerned, you're blind to this industry, right? The A1 Mini is just a shot at Prusa. That's all it was. And it's fine, right? Like, companies should do this. I want to see more companies taking shots at each other. I think it's good for the industry as a whole to do that. However, you know, I think we got to be a little more diplomatic. Is that the right word? Diplomatic. Yeah, diplomatic. The Prusa Core 1 Mini. I don't think we're going to see that. Maybe we do, but I don't think we're going to see that. Certainly not as an upgrade path. Oh, ow. Smacked the camera. That hurt. Yes, the bed cable is kind of an odd place, but it doesn't get in the way there, so it does work. But yeah, it is kind of an odd place. And I have my power cable running around, but that's fine. Would be kind of funny to see a Prusa Core 1 Mini. It would. It'd be adorable. You know, but I don't know. I don't know. Comes with tweezers, too. Stabby, 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 stabby. Worker said, like, one of those mini fridges that holds 4 cans, but hopefully that doesn't use a Peltier module. I keep thinking an upgrade path hurts Prusa's ability to innovate. The Core 1 should have been bigger. If you want bigger, you get the XL. I mean, honestly, like, a 1 tool head XL is not much more money than a Core 1, right? So, like, the upgrade path is great if you had a Prusa printer previously and you didn't want to spend the money on a brand new Core 1, but you wanted the Core 1. The upgrade path is perfect for you. Don Hun says, we need competition, otherwise there would be no $300 printers. Yeah, but at the same time, competition is good, but competition can be a real problem if, you know, if companies do push that race to the bottom as far as possible, we end up with more ANET A8s, which I don't want. Josh says, I don't like the XL isn't enclosed as standard. Well, it's not needed for a lot of people. Why charge more for a machine where a lot of people would leave the enclosure open anyways when they can just add it as an add-on. And there are tons of aftermarket enclosures for the XL that you can buy and build. We have the enclosure that you can get. It's like $140 plus like 2 kilos of material. Like, you can do all that yourself. You don't need all the extra stuff. So, in my opinion, I think Prusa made the right move with the XL. I like the little accordion door. I initially didn't because it looks kind of odd, but I think it does end up working quite well. Because I'll tell you, the bulk of what we print on our XL is PLA and PETG, stuff I would need to leave an enclosure open for anyways. So this just makes it easier for me. Luke said, surely they would have data showing the average print size they could assess if the Core 1 was enough for most, which I assume is the case. Well, I think the big reason for the Core 1, the volume that it is because that's what they could extract out of the system that they have right now. So. Here's my thoughts coming from Bambu Lab P1S owner. Prusa Core 1 is expensive, but it has something that P1 doesn't. You take the Z-axis out. Bambu Lab is a 6-hour repair for replacing a belt. Yep. Yep. Oh, self-check complete. I can start printing. Woohoo! Clipper connecting. Nice. Let's go to 20. Oh, this filament's gonna be damp. The filament just broke. Might have to go get a different roll. This might be too damp to use. Welcome to Florida, where everything is damp and there's nothing you can do about it. All right, I want to move this thing up. Must home. Okay, home. Clipper 2, not a bad feature set. Big build volume and input shaper. Yep, it's Clipper. Frank R said, well, at least the screen on the Plus Ace isn't flickering like it does on his regular Ace. Contact Sovol on that. It shouldn't do that, to be clear. Oh. Filament. Load. Speed of heating is not this machine's strong suit. It's not a fast heater. Have confirmed. Okay, we are feeding. That's what we wanted. Hopefully there's enough room to purge. Oh yeah, there was black in it previously. Okay. There's the red. Gonna go to confirm. Wonderful. Let's get the USB that it came with. For literally one time. Where did I put it? It's right in front of me. And yes, this whole thing is DC. It's a DC printer. USB is on the top, which is nice. What do we have on local? Nothing. So what do you have on USB? A 15-minute benchy. All right. Cool. Print. We're gonna see what happens. I'm very curious to see. 210 is not high enough for printing like this, in my opinion. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull you guys. Oh gosh, oh gosh. There. I think that'll be a decent view for y'all. Bed's warming up. This filament might be quite damp. Yeah, I have filament that snapped inside of the Bowden tube on the XL. I'm not looking forward to dealing with that. I've literally been using other tool heads on the XL so I don't have to deal with that. Which is kind of stupid, but I'm... Okay, so we're dragging the nozzle across the bed. Which is interesting, because it has a wiper back here, but it's dragging it across the bed. Okay, now we're going across the wiper. Okay, interesting, interesting. Oh, yeah, I don't know why. Apparently Spectrum entered the chat. We've lost some, but not a ton. Like, way less than normal. Yeah, we'll do 2 keyframes. I mean, see if that helps. Does it have automatic Z? I assume it does. We're going to find out. I didn't do any of that, so I sure hope it does. So it's now cooling the hot end down to 130 Celsius. I'm assuming that's for the probing sequence. We can turn on the little light on the machine, which we'll do. So that'll probably help us. Inductive probe. No, it is a nozzle probe. So it's a load cell. Can we see its camera? I'm not going to connect to it for you. We do not network our machines. I don't care what machines they are. We do not network them. So, sorry. Nice. So we can edit while we're live. Well, at least from this computer. That's cool. I'm glad you're able to get Print Fix Friday done. We will review it tonight live in the Discord. Is it only Wi-Fi or is there RJ45? I think it's only Wi-Fi. Yeah, I don't feel Ethernet ports anywhere, so yeah. Sooner we can review, the better. No, dude, we set our review times at a certain point. We do them in the Discord. I'll have to ask people if they're okay with that. Frank R said, I want the XL, but I saw some videos and YouTubers that keep failing on long prints. That's why I wanted an XL for multiple material prints, so I still get it. I've done multi-day, multi-material prints, and it's totally fine. Okay, we're going to 235. Interesting. Oh yeah, that's a lot of filament. It does not, in fact, have the Z offset set correctly. Okay. That is, that's not set correctly. Cancel printing. Okay. RIP. Oh yeah, that's a blob of doom waiting to happen. Yep, confirm. So let's see if there's a way to set. No, there isn't. There is no way to do the Z offset easily. Okay. What we'll do is we're going to put the printer down to 25% speed so we can figure it out. And then we'll just do it. So. Maybe we're saying check the manual. No, there's no way to do it on the menus. So yeah, it should have auto Z, but it did not work properly. So we will adjust it. It's no big deal. There's a little light on it. I think Bamboos don't let you adjust the Z offset even today. No, they don't. They do not let you do it. You can adjust it on this. You're able to adjust it on the screen. So that's a plus. SV06 plus. Hey, got him. And yes, you can do it on the slicer, but I think a lot of people want to adjust their Z offsets on the machine as it's happening. Which is fair. How much higher can this go? Okay, that's as high as the table goes. It makes it a lot easier for me to like bend down and look at it, you know? When I can just easily see it. It works out well for me, and I'll put the table back down to regular height. You can also see the mess that's under here. Isn't it great? So much mess. Yes, 5 brim lines work well for Live Z, but we don't have that on this machine, so we're using the on the SD card G code, and I really don't feel like waiting a half hour, so. Rick Standen says, I'd love it if you could get a 5-tool Prusa with an MMU3 on each head, allowing you to 25 color print. I don't think it's possible, unfortunately. But look, I have a full color 3D printer if I want it. I just don't. I do want that new one from FlashForge, though. I got to reach out to FlashForge and get one, because we actually have experience with full color 3D printing. The bed could also still be pretty dirty. I'm honestly not sure. I'm just glad you're wearing pants. Yeah, I am. Woo! Like the stream for, I don't know, Grant wearing pants? I don't know. It's not that kind of a stream. That's for the Patreon and the Discord. Like, it should set the Z. It's just weird that it doesn't, you know? Oh well. Again, it's a $300 printer. Like, I'm not certain I'm really allowed to complain. Amber says, no pants. These are pants. They're not even shorts. They're pants. Has the price been released for the FFF printer yet? I think it's like $3,100. Actually, she thinks they think I got a defective unit. The other ones I saw print just fine. Eh. Yeah, Lost X 3100 is cheap. I wonder about consumables. That's the trick. The trick is with full color machines, especially those PolyJet machines, it's not about the cost of the printer. It's about the material cost. Oh, yeah, firmware update. Yeah, meh, whatever. I'm just going to do this manually because this is how it shipped. And there were not instructions for me to do that, so. I'm ready on the dials, man. I'm ready on the touch screen. I do wish it gave me a little bit more granularity. You get 0.01, 0.1, and 0.5. Now we're going to heat to temp. Right? Yeah, we're heating to temp. Ooh, did I nail it? Almost. Okay. I'm happy with that. Negative 0.11. All right, cool beans. We're gonna hide the pants. This is all you get to see. I'm hiding the pants. Now you can't see my pants. Maybe it's at 220 volt. No, I did check that. Boy, she's speedy. She is nowhere near hot enough. Oh my god, it's going to 210C on the second layer. Absolutely not. Not at this speed. You can't do that. You cannot go that cold. You can't do that. Nope, taking it up to 240. Now the whole table is shaking. The printer is sturdy. The table is shaking. Great live stream opera. You're right. You're right. Where are my pants? Ha! Maybe I'm not wearing pants anymore. Support the stream. Oh, Sovol, you gotta get your pre-done profiles figured out, man. You really do. Can you adjust only while not printing? Nope, I was able to adjust everything while printing. Wow. The bow of the benchy's looking really good. Damn. Now, I don't know if I can smell I'm overheating the filament a little bit. Let me take it down to 237. Cool it down a smidge. It's the table shaking. The whole table shakes. It's not the printer. It's the table. I promise. We've been through this so many times. You see how the camera that's attached to the table isn't shaking? It's because the camera's attached to the table too. The whole damn table wobbles. Custom clipper? Yes. Custom slicer? Yes. Custom profiles? Nah. Yeah, well. You know. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. They definitely got their cooling figured out from the SV06 Ace, because that one, the stock cooling was not great. This is much better. Lion X said, I'm kind of shocked. Jeez! I'm kind of shocked the wobbling table doesn't screw up the print. It shouldn't. You guys think it's quiet? Hold on. I'll switch my microphone so you can actually hear it, and I'll turn off... I'm going to turn off all noise cancellation. So, hold on here. So, let's turn off noise suppression. And I'm going to switch to the microphone above me. That's more of a room microphone. So... Jeez, crow, you need... Good lord. All right, I'm going to go to that. So now you have a different microphone. But now you can hear the printer for what it sounds like. For reference, that microphone is right up here. It's right off camera. We need a wobble meter. Ooh. God, I do. I need, like, one of those, like, Hawaiian girls, right? Like, one of those Hawaiian girl things you put on the dash of your car to have on the table so it can be... Oh, that would be so funny. It's not horribly loud. It's all fan noise in terms of, like, how loud it is, you know? Yeah, it's not too bad. The Core 1's way quieter, but, you know, you can get 4 of these for a pre-assembled Core 1, so, you know. I'm gonna go back to my microphone here, because I know that sounds better. Here, I'll just get closer to the machine for you. The 50-20 blower or the 40-20 blower that they're using is just really obnoxious. It's very, very loud. Ooh, that didn't sound good. That didn't sound good. Oh, no, it's okay so far. Again, remember, I'm not certain if these settings are right or are any good. So we're going to judge the cooling. We're not going to judge if the rest of it looks like crap, because I could be overheating the filament and not knowing. Let me go ahead and turn back on the noise cancellation stuff. Boop. And now everything is quieter. You're welcome. Waiting on telehealth. Yay, Amber gets telehealth. Because she's got that cat scratch fever. Ba-na-na-na. My hair's just long enough to flip like that. Da-na-na-na. $0? Hey, I'll cheers to that. If your doctor's a little bit older, figure out who sung Cat Scratch Fever and make a joke about that. Head banging Grant. Yeah. Look, I'm more likely to bang my head into something than do a proper head bang, you know? Bearded Princess, I don't think that table's wobbling enough. I mean, I can make it wobble more if you want. Yeah! Okay, no, we're not going to keep doing that. Out of all my printers, SV06 Ace handles TPU the best, so I stopped using TPU on my Bamboo. Hey, if it works, it works. Temper your expectations for volume. This is quite loud. It's the fans. Someone else said it. The first thing you do is you replace the fans on a Sovol. A benchy bow looks like perfect. It looks beautiful. Sovol, your stock thing is way too cold, but looking good otherwise. Gilbert said, I was literally banging my head to a wall today at work. That's why I left early to go see this stream. Hey, appreciate it. At least these fans these days don't start that screaming noise anymore. That was a time. Oh, yeah, I remember that time. You get a new printer and 5 minutes in and start going, Ree! Yeah, well, these will eventually do that because they're sleeve bushings. They're not like proper ball bearing fans. But, you know, it could be worse. The experiment says Bamboo allegedly has a TPU that will work in their printers and AMS, but it's not real TPU. There's something else in it. Because, like, I mean, I guess it could be... It's not going to be very stretchy, I will tell you that much. It's not going to be like a 95A. It's probably going to be closer to like a 97 or a 98. We're working on a series about that. I'm trying to get my hands on a like a handheld mass spectrometer or a handheld X-ray gun. Boston, Texas, I think it's some PETG polyester TPU blend. It probably is. I also want a mass spectrometer. Yeah. Instead of that, we're just going to print the same stuff with different materials and beat the hell out of it until it fails and then determine what it's made out of from that, you know. I mean, look, this ain't no 8-minute benchy on a bamboo or a Prusa, but for as big as this old girl is, I'm pretty impressed. It's loud, though. It's a loud printer. And yeah, I can actually see the cavitation in this filament, so yeah. Theater Experiment says, I'm hoping Bamboo changes their policies, but not optimistic at this point. They're not going to. Ryan Gill says, you need to be able to print the full volume overnight. No. I will not be doing that. You can do that, though. What can you say about Sovol filament? Never used it. That's what I can say. Doc Alleyway says, I would like to see the print max out to see how the bed handles adhesion with big parts. That will matter more about the filament that's on it than the bed itself. To be clear, Bamboo doesn't have to be open source. This industry has accepted the fact that open source is dead at this point. Much to my dismay, but they've accepted it. Bamboo doesn't have to be open source, but they don't have to screw their customers. Right? Yeah, it's actually, you don't have to be open source to be a nice, decent company. Prusa's not open source anymore. Well, certain stuff. I will say, if you turned off the fans on this machine, it would be a much quieter machine overall. Oh, that wiggle's getting wiggly, huh? It's a fast machine. Sovol's not pure open source either. Voron is pure open source. But they're not a company.
Hello, stream. I see you on the other camera.
Be curious to see how the top of the benchy comes out. We'll see how crazy that gets. See if the cooling is sufficient or not. Dark Alley reminds me of my first printer, the Creality SE, just with better parts. Yeah, I mean, this is a tried and true kind of design overall as far as printers go. It's like, you can't hate that. I just think a lot of this industry is moving away from bed slingers because they do take up a lot of space. They do. Prusa posted a thing where this is flat now. The side panel's flat and the spool's on the inside of the printer. I do quite like that. All right, Benchy's done. Must home all axis first. Yeah, I don't care. Okay. Wow. Damn. All right. We're going to look at this together. What do? We enhance. Uh-oh. What? Why'd you go black on there? You shouldn't have done that. All right, we enhance. Enhance. We must go further. Enhance. Too much enhancing. Back a bit. There we go. Yeah, I mean, that's a great Benchy bow. Back of the Benchy, not great. Bridging looks fine. A little bit of drooping there, but again, it's 15-minute Benchy. And it's, like, not really well-tuned at all. There's a bit of a Benchy hull line. But, like, dude, for a $300 printer, that's a darn good Benchy. What's the walls on the interior pillowy? Yeah, I guess there's a little bit there. Like it's not handling corners perfectly. That could be more due to my settings. The chimney looks really good. I think we're under extruding a little bit. Or maybe at speed we are, because I see some kind of like open lines. On the top, we might just still be too cold. For a first Benchy on a $300 printer, that's pretty darn good. That is pretty darn good. I'm very happy with that. Very happy with that. Again, for the money, that's pretty darn good. I think your filament isn't that wet. Yeah, apparently it's not. Well, hey. 7 out of 10 could be wetter. Yeah. I was going to make a joke there, but I'm not going to make that joke. I think it's under extruding a little bit, but again, it's a 15-minute Benchy on a 300 by 300 by 350 bed slinger. Like, at some point, temper your expectations, okay? Right? Now, it does need to PID tune. I'm not... There we go. Unloaded the filament. Very good there. And it can PID tune. Here's the little light, if you want to see what that looks like. It's not going to help much because of the studio lights, but... Yeah! Look, it's a $300 printer. The fact that the stock G-code is that much better than the OG Aces, it's quite impressive to me. Good job, Sovol. Again, temper your expectations for what $300 gets you in this economy. Right? That's like, what? 5 dozen eggs? I'm joking. It's like 6 dozen eggs. No, you guys temper your expectations. The machine does say that it hasn't PID calibrated yet. So it said a PID calibration takes 12 minutes. Which is fine if you wanted to do it. I have not done it on this machine. But, as far as the machine goes, I'm not certain you can ask much more at this price point. I think Sovol's really kind of nabbed that big printer, cheap money market, as they have in the past. And I would be proud to call this the successor to the SV06 Plus. Obviously, gonna need some more time messing with it. See how it runs. Golly, it's loud, though. Okay. The printer fan is pretty loud. Oh, I just stopped it. There it goes. Okay, Clipper just yelled at me. Saying exception in the hot end fan. Yeah, I know. Clipper is connecting. I think I twisted this, putting it on. There we go. Other thing I want to do is I want to send the axis all the way up to the top. Make sure I had all that aligned, but it probably doesn't matter much right now. $300 for this machine, but the Z offset is a problem. Should be right there in the settings. I hate when printers don't have it. I did it right on the screen during the thing. Like, it's pretty darn good in my opinion. Like, don't get me wrong, it'd be nice if it was perfect out of the box, but it's a $300 printer that's this big. There is a certain expectation that I have here. I didn't expect it to have freaking nozzle probing, but it does. I do wish it would let me move the axis more, but, you know, whatever. I want to slam it into the top to make sure it's even. So I'm not certain it is. Move out of range. Okay. Oh, interesting. It doesn't let you move higher than that. This machine could go higher. Huh. Okay. Strain gauge. Nozzle or the bed? Nozzle. Nozzle. It is on the nozzle. Which to me is good. I wasn't expecting that. All right. Any other questions before I call this stream? Because I think we've proven it can print. Prints decently well. We got it unboxed. We got it put together. Barely read the user manual. You're welcome. But yeah, if there's anything else you guys have questions about, or do we want to give away a roll of filament and call this stream a wrap? Any other questions? All right, we'll do the giveaway. Let's run the giveaway. All right, let's see if they can do math. Let's see if they can do math. Oh, wait, hold on. I need to sort. I didn't sort. I'm sorry. And Mr. Kerbal can do math. James Kerbal, you still hanging out? If you're still hanging out, you won. Mr. Kerbal. Is he here? Hope he's here. Let me try to tag him in the chat. Yeah, he's in the chat. So, well, James, message me on Discord or something like that, and we'll get the filament out to you. Is the answer to the math question related to Hitchhiker's Guide? I don't know. You tell me. That's all I got for you all. Nice, easy, quick stream. Just one roll. Simple stream. Yes, Mad Cat, just one roll. Or save it. I got plans. Anyways, that's all I got for you all today. Stay safe out there. This has been the SV06 Ace. SV06 plus Ace. There it is. If you want to check it out, links are in that description. Otherwise, stay safe out there. Don't forget to call your loved ones. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, keep making awesome.